This is problem number 2 from section 7.1. It says find the other trigonometric functions of theta. And we have cotangent theta, which is a negative 11 over 60, and we have sine theta, which is 60 over 61. I always like to figure out which quadrant we're working in so we can start to draw the triangle for that quadrant. Now, you don't have to start this way, that's just what I like to do. First of all, I see that sine is positive. So if sine is positive, that's telling us that we're probably in quadrants 1 or 2, right? Sine being positive. If cotangent is negative, well, that means, remember cotangent, if we look at our functions here, cotangent is 1 over tangent. And tangent is sine over cosine. So you could say that cotangent would be cosine over sine. So it means that cosine divided by sine is what tangent is. Well, if cotangent is negative, that must mean cosine is negative because sine is positive here. So if sine is positive and cosine is negative, we should be in quadrant 2, right? Because cosine being negative, remember, would take us this direction. Sine would take us this direction. So we should be in this quadrant here. So I'm going to kind of draw that triangle there. Oop, extend that out. And that's where what our triangle looks like. And if it's sine, we've got 60 here as the opposite side and 61 here as our hypotenuse. Now let's go ahead and start to figure out some other things. So I know that cotangent is negative 11 over 60. What's tangent then? Well, remember cotangent and tangent are reciprocals of each other. So tangent is a reciprocal of that, which is negative 60 over 11. Well, once I know tangent, then I know that tangent's the opposite over the adjacent. I know the 11's got to be the negative because sine theta is 60 over 61, and both those numbers are positive. So if we look at this, this is 60 over, this is our negative 11. Now that tells us what cosine is then. Because now we know cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the adjacent side's a negative 11, and the hypotenuse is 61. So we have our tangent now, and we have our cosine. So we can keep going from there. We know cosecant then is the reciprocal of sine, right? Cosecant, reciprocal of sine. Sine 60 over 61, that means cosecant 61 over 60. And secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosine is negative 11 over 61, so that's negative 61 over 11. And that's our 6 trig functions.